Summertime is finally here, and we all know that Orlando is a very popular summer vacation destination. You may be visiting to visit one of the Florida theme parks, or you may be a Florida local trying to fly out to go somewhere on vacation. Most likely you'll be flying out of the Orlando airport, and things can get pretty hectic there. And to keep your experience as seamless as possible, I want to share with you 5 tips that you can consider using when flying out of the Orlando airport during the summertime. If you're looking for a place to park your car when flying out of the Orlando airport, the first tip I'll recommend to you here is to choose an off-site parking location. Maybe this is a personal thing, but when it comes to parking at an airport, I always like to go with some off-site parking options. Usually when parking on-site at an airport, you still have to use a shuttle to get to the airport, and whenever you pay for your parking, you don't get anything in return. There's no reward system or point system. As I've flown out of the Orlando airport, I always use the company called FastPark Relax, and there are so many perks that keep me coming back as a customer to park there. I enjoy FastPark Relax because they have covered parking, they are very reliable getting me to and from the airport, and they have a reward system where you can accrue points to get free days of parking. I appreciate their kind staff, and they definitely ease some anxiety that I have whenever it comes to airline travel, because it can be stressful. Once you pull into FastPark Relax, they'll let you know where you should park your car. And the thing I do want to tell you is they are very, very punctual. As soon as you get parked, there is going to be a shuttle right behind you ready to take you to the airport. So with this, you may feel a little rushed knowing that they are right there waiting for you, but make sure that you have your keys, your car is fully turned off, you have your lights off, and you have all of the bags and luggage that you are looking to take with you on your flight. This most recent time that I flew back into Orlando to get my car, I realized that I had a dead battery. And the thing that I really appreciated about FastPark Relax is that they were able to jump my battery, and I saw that if you had locked your keys in your car, they actually can help you get access into your car. So for those reasons, I always use FastPark Relax for my off-site airport parking when flying out of the Orlando airport, but if you're looking for a place to park, I recommend parking off-site. The second tip you should consider using is to budget time for checking bags. Now, a lot of the tips and recommendations that I have for you here about the Orlando airport definitely deal with timing. The Orlando airport can get very busy, very crowded. It is a very high trafficked and busy airport, especially during these peak seasons like summertime. And when traveling out of this airport, I definitely would rather be there way early than just on time. And when it comes to checking bags at this airport, a lot of times for some of the counters for various airlines can have very long lines when it comes to checking bags. The 2 airlines that definitely come to mind that always have long lines when it comes to checking bags are Spirit and Frontier. I've seen crazy lines for checking bags at the airport, and earlier in May, I dropped a friend off to fly out of Orlando, and she had to wait 30 minutes to finally get her bag checked for a flight on Spirit Airlines. So if you are looking to check bags when you are flying out of the Orlando airport, I definitely would budget some time for that because lines can get quite long when checking bags. The third thing that you'll want to budget time for is budget time for security. Now, I could talk a lot about this tip because security at the Orlando airport can be very, very hit or miss at times. At times, I'll fly out of Orlando and the line for security will be a normal standby wait time, but then other times on a random Wednesday afternoon, it is crazy long and the lines are absolutely obnoxious. I can also not tell you how many times I've been in line for security at Orlando and have seen people beg to skip up to the front of their line because they're about to miss their flight. So with that in mind, I would definitely recommend at least an hour for security when flying out of Orlando. You may get there and find that you have so much extra time because the line for security isn't bad, but let me tell you, I would rather have extra time than be there just on time or find out that I am about to miss my flight because that can be super stressful. What I have recently started to use is TSA PreCheck. I find that that is a very stress-free option whenever flying out of an airport, especially the Orlando airport, because the standby wait time can get very long, very extreme, and it can be very stressful. So I personally use the TSA PreCheck now, but they also have an option called Clear that allows you to skip the long wait times for security as well. Either way, all that to say, I definitely recommend budgeting more time than less when flying out of this airport because security, as I keep saying, can be a hit or miss and it can be stressful. The fourth thing I want to recommend to you here is to ensure that you have the correct terminal in Tram. Now, the way the Orlando airport is set up is there are 2 terminals that you can go to. There's Terminal A and there's Terminal B. Now, different airlines are located at each of these terminals, but the thing that's very important is that there are separate security checkpoints that you have to go to access each of these terminals. So essentially, if you're looking to go to Terminal A, you have to go through the Terminal A security, and if you want to go to Terminal B, you have to go through the Terminal B security. Now, remember how I said that the security line can be crazy when it comes to visiting the Orlando airport? The last thing you would want to find out is that you chose the wrong terminal and the wrong security checkpoint and figure out that your gate is not even located at that terminal, and then you have to go through security all over again and potentially miss your flight. So what I do each and every time that I fly is I always go to the monitors and figure out which gate my flight is flying out of, and then that'll help to tell me which terminal I should go to. Now, in a previous comment, somebody had told me that they think it is near impossible for people to get the wrong terminal when flying out of the Orlando airport. Because the airlines are located at specific terminal, they felt that it was very easy to figure out where you need to go when navigating this airport. However, in all of my times of flying out of the Orlando airport, there have been numerous times that I have seen people choose the wrong terminal to go to get their flight. And if I see it happen in person, that must mean that people get confused about which terminal to go to. So all that to say, go to the monitor, figure out what gate you need to go to, and that'll help you to figure out which security checkpoint and which terminal to choose. And likewise, once you get through the security checkpoint, there are going to be 2 trams to take you to 2 separate sets of gates. This step isn't as crucial, but I do recommend still to figure out the correct tram because it'll take you to 2 separate sets of gates. So ensuring you have the correct tram will allow you to get to your gate as soon as possible, because you wouldn't want to choose the wrong tram, figure out that it took you to the wrong set of gates, get back on the tram, and then get back on the correct one. It'll save you time if you choose the right tram. And the 5th and final tip that I have for you here is to actually sit at your gate when you're waiting for your flight. As you've been able to pick up here, it can get very hectic at the Orlando airport because there can be crowds, it can be very busy, there's a lot going on, and the last thing you'd want to have happen is to miss your flight because you didn't hear what was going on with the status of it. All of the gates are very close together, and it can get very confusing hearing statuses from each of the different gates about the flights. And of course, whenever flights are boarding, there can be large crowds of people and it can get very chaotic. So sitting at your actual gate will ensure that you can hear all of the announcements that are being made, so that way you don't miss your flight and you know when you need to board. I also can't tell you how many times I've been sitting at my actual gate and there are people that are sitting there with me that are getting onto another flight that is located at the gate across from me, and last minute they figure out that they are being called to board and almost miss their flight. So don't be those people, just sit at your actual gate so that way you can hear everything that is actually happening. The Orlando airport sounds stressful, but it doesn't have to be as long as you're prepared before your visit. And if you're still confused about how to navigate this airport, you can check out this video here where I walk you through how to get to your gate, as well as another video here to help you with more things that you should know before actually visiting the Orlando airport. I hope you have safe travels this summer, enjoy your flight out of the Orlando airport, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys!